Okay, so passing over from Shin Lamed Gimel, if Aleph the beginning, the Mechaber starts off that somebody hires workers, and either he misled them or they misled him, meaning either they didn't show up, or alternatively they showed up and there wasn't work. So they don't have any monetary damage on each other. They only have a complaint against each other, hard feelings, dissatisfaction. So, of course, you know the famous discussion in Gemara where the Gemara asks if he did something wrong. So why is there there's a monetary if he damaged him. So there's he has a small claims case, whatever you want to call it, a civil case. If you have if there's nothing, if he didn't do anything, so what's the problem? So the Smeh explains, first of all, that the reason for this is because of tircha, that due to tircha, the bother of the thing, so that's why he has tarumis. Oh, good morning, Abu Khazan. And he also explains that Lefi Hatur, there's no it's when he says tarumis that he have a complaint, he has like a complaint or dissatisfaction with him. There is this means that he's not even considered an untrustworthy person. It's just I have a whatever you upset me, basically. That's all. but he's not even considered an untrustworthy person. Now this means when we're talking about, meaning that he had some sort of reason that something changed and he pulled out. If he pulled out and there was mamish no good reason, then Mistami will be considered a person who's, unless you go according to the other shita, right? That even a person who has a good reason will still be considered untrustworthy, right? It'll be a mechusar amona. You're muted, Rabbi Chazan.
So then, according to that cheetah, if he does have a good reason, so then he's still a thing, right?
Yeah, it's still a
and what about if he doesn't have a good reason, the Zalbazach, or is he then
doesn't have a good reason?
According to that cheetah, according to the cheetah that says that when you have
all the same, you have a reason. You don't have. I mean, the bottom line is you gave your word, and that's it. Keep your word.
Right.
According to the main shita, which is that the Tur holds by also.
Yeah.
The difference, if you mamish with no good reason, then you're a mechusar amana. Otherwise, you're not even a mechusar amana. He still has tarumis on you, meaning fine. You what's it called? I'm upset at you.
Even though you had good reason.
Yeah, but in other words, but I'm suffering from your good reason. I didn't mamish take a loss, but you made me a tircha. You were tereach me, so I have tarumis on you. I have, like, you know. So I don't like you for a few minutes, you know. So that was the smell.
I mean, there's a yisoid for that. There's a yisoid for that. For even when it's not your fault, you're still culpable.
Right, like, still listen. The bottom line, if I show up at Ichveis, Hertz Rental. And they don't have my car ready. It's a big snowstorm, and the people who are supposed to return their cars are having trouble. They're running late because of that snowstorm. Listen, what am I going to tell them? I understand it's not your fault, but it's still, you know what I'm saying?
You're still messed up.
It's still it still is messing with my day. I'm not blaming you. I get it.
Stuff in your body that it's
Whatever. I still, you know what I mean. I have tarum still.
Yeah.
certain cells are at its maximum.
A second.
Then, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So why is there only taromis? Because of teirach. Because we're talking in a case, right, where he can say to him, "Go. It's easy to find jobs around here. Just go get another job." And he can say to him, "Just get another worker." Fine, but I have the tirch of having to deal with that.
Remember that we said that only happened, that goes only one way, not the other way?
That's
It's
yeah. That's
That's only that how do you say that the balabos who start looking for that's because the workers it's regular to go for work
right.
too.
But that's according to a certain sheet. It's according to
Yeah, I remember seeing that yesterday.
Ramban later. That yeah.
Oh, but Bestam, not that cheetah. It goes both ways, I guess.
Minastam, yeah, it would seem so.
I'll tell you why. Because the guy had a job already. You know, when he came to you, he
Right, it
looked
didn't have
for
to
it.
do with any,
He did the paula of Ishtadlus. He did already.
right.
So
Now the Shach brings why here it's Mishum Tircha,
yeah.
and by the case in the Gemara of a ship, it's because of and not just by the Gemara. It's also, I guess, a case in Shulchan Aruch, and I guess in the last siman.
Yeah.
And where is it? No, it's Shin Yud Aleph. That's where it is. Shin Yud Aleph Sivav. That over there, they it's because of Shinui Das. So Zog the Shach's Poshet. Here we're talking before he started work. By a ship, we're talking about he's already Chatzi Derech. He's halfway during the trip. So there you have Shinui Das because it's a bigger, it's a different deal because it's in middle. And here
Shinu dance is used only in the middle of the once you started working already.
yeah, so that's the Shach's explanation. Shinui Das,
inside the car.
meaning that according to the Shach, if had he started working already and he was in the middle of the job, and he was already there for 2 weeks, and now you tell him there's no work, so now you could say Shinui Das. And so the Shach says that's the difference between by a ship and here is by a ship. It's talking about a case where he already is Chetzi Derech. Here we're talking he didn't actually start working yet. Then the Shach brings in the Muki Yosef that the Muki Yosef says even if he started working. So the Shach says, wait a second. So how in the Muki Yosef, or you're saying even if he started working, how are you going to touch up why here we say Tircha and there they say Shini Das? So let them say the same thing here and there. Why you drawing a difference? So he answers 2 ways. Either the Muki Yosef holds like Rashi that Shinui Das is something that is applicable dafka to traveling, because traveling is bichlal a bigger tircha v'chulu. It has to do more with traveling, whereas here you don't. Here Shinui Das doesn't apply bichlal. What you started, you didn't start, and that's why here it's tircha. And the other answer is no. The Nemuki Yosef Hitaka holds that Shinui Das can be both here and there. But what he's talking about is two different types of starting. already. He doesn't mean like by a ship where you're mamish chetzi derech, that here would be it would also be it would be okay. It would be tircha not shinidas, but rather if he was already there for a while, here also would be called shinidas. When the Nemuki Yosef says he started, it means he mamish just started. He didn't have time to become ragil in this
So where
place.
do you draw the line? In the middle, versteht sich is much easier.
He doesn't give an actual line.
Is it once a day, 2 days? You know.
Er sagt nicht. Not just that. He also by Sfina he doesn't draw the line. And we thought, well, what if his whole thing's only a 2-day trip? You know, he also doesn't draw the line. If it's a 2-day trip or a 7-week trip.
This is something the
Pashtus, we don't really go. I don't think so much. We don't go so much by that Nemuki Yosef anyway. I think we go. If he started, he started.
Oh, so you draw a line between starting and not starting?
Yeah. So by here, it's very simple. By the shach, and most others is very simple. You draw the line by you started, you didn't start. Okay, so it seems, however, there is one prat from the Nemuki Yosef that he holds that Taka everybody would maybe agree on. And that's because he's saying it's Mishum Tircha, right? However, if Mamish, if there was Mamish no Tircha,
Yeah. Like for example, he finds a worker right away.
yeah, or not only he finds work right away. Let's say I tell you, listen, I don't have work. I already arranged you work by the store next door. Same terms, same pay, same everything. I was talking to him. I told him I feel bad. I thought I had work, and it turns out my bubby came down at night and organized
Yeah.
ready. And I don't want to know what to do. So the guy said, actually, you know what? I need work. Well, what were you going to pay? What are you going to say? I thought I was going to hire him for 2 days for $15 an hour. He goes, oh, send him to me. I'll what's it called?
Right.
Perfect.
So
Okay,
then you don't have tircha there.
right, there's mamish no tircha. So it says the shach there, he says, Take, if in such a case, Mistame the others would agree with the Nemuki Yosef.
Yeah.
That in a case where there's mamish no tircha, you wouldn't have tarumas even, because in order to have tarumas, you have to have at least tircha, some tircha, and if there's mamish no tircha, then taka there would be no tarumas. So that's where we left off. Let me just see. What did we? Yeah. Oh, we also did. We did the Ramah, right? That the Ramah also said that if the balabas does meshicha on the tools of the worker, then it's a kinyan. Now you can't go back. I don't care. You have a reason. You don't have a reason.
Right.
The balabas cannot go back, and not if it's a kablan, and not if it's a schiriyim. He can't. The balabas can't go back. The worker himself, it depends. If he's a kablan, then he also can't go back. If he says schiriyim, like we'll learn later, because of you're an eved to Hashem and not an eved to la'avadim. So since the schiriyim can pull out anytime he wants, even after he started, even after he's halfway through, even after he's 3/4 through, he can pull out and yodi ba'el yaina.
But he can stay with the tool.
But the balabas, right? However, the Shach points out that even though he can stay with the tool, if he did not stay with the tools, he cannot exact it from him now. However, the kinyan is still a kinyan. So the fact that you can use his tools is only if you're still in possession of his tools. If you gave them back,
But if you give it back, you can grow. You can mon it from him.
Yeah. At the same time, even if you gave it back, and now you
and
can't,
you can mon it from him. It's still the kinyan is still chal.
Yeah.
The kinyan is still chal, right? Even though he gave back the tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's once you did mishicha.
Why giving the tool?
Because it's already mishicha. I made a kinyan. It's like a kinyan sudar.
And it's not a gilui das that you're choizer on it. That's the pshat. It's not a gilui das. The fact that you gave back the tool to the worker, right, to the poil, is not indicative that he is choizer on the kinyan.
Right. It's not. It doesn't mean that the worker is masking that we're.
But you say that the kinyan is chal anyway, right?
Anyway, it doesn't make a difference because what is it? Ksav asher nechtav b'chsav hamelech v'nechtav b'tabas hamelech ein lahashiv.
Yeah, right.
Meaning,
let me ask you a question.
If you want to go back, you would have to make a kinyan the other way.
But the main nafkamina that the kinyan is still chal. If he opted out, he's a schiriyim. He opted out. You can't do nothing.
So there, a taka doesn't make a difference. But it's chal, meaning the balabas can't opt out, even by a schiriyim. It's a kinyan. The schiriyim can back out. That's for a different reason. But it's a deal. It just so happens that a schiriyim is allowed to back out of even a closed deal. A schiriyim is allowed to back out of.
My question basically was, Vibaldi, you tell me that the kinyan is still chal, right? So even though that the schiriyim can back out,
yeah.
My question is another one. Listen, that even though he himself backed out, could he back in again and cash in on that kinyan or not? That's not a bad question.
Well,
because you yourself tell me that you're not mevatel the kinyan for. You know what I'm saying?
But a schiriyim could back out. He could a schiriyim.
He could back out, but he could back in again because it's still chal.
Because once he backed out, he backed out. Once he backed out, he backed out. That's how it works by schiriyim. He's allowed to back out.
He had to back out, but you tell me that even after he backed out, the kinyan is still chal.
It's almost. I think it's more like it changes that the kinyan only goes until when you backed out. The kinyan you backed out.
Oh, so then he's mevatel the kinyan.
He's able to change the terms, because listen, if he was mevatel the kinyan, the balabas would not have to pay him anything. The balabas he has yodi al hilyena. The balabas has to pay him for the part he was there.
Yes, right.
So it means the kinyan wasn't mevatel. He's
paying him on what my mashahoyo, not bikano lehaba. You know,
right? But it's almost like it changes the deal that the kinyan was on.
You mean if he backs out?
Yeah.
So bekitzer, if the guy backs out, if the schirion backs out,
3 days, not 6 days.
Okay, but bekitzer, if he gave him back the equipment, or he didn't give him back the equipment,
doesn't make a difference.
And the schirion backs out, right?
Yeah.
And you're telling me that the kinyan is still chal. That's what you're saying until now, right?
Well, it's still chal in terms of the balabas can't back out. Let's say the doesn't back out.
Das weiß ich. Hat nicht the rechts. But we're talking about in a case not when the balabas wants to back out, because he can't back out. We're talking about in a case where the schiriyoim backs out, and he's entitled to back out, right? That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
So frag ich that if he's entitled to back out and he did back out, bepoil mamish backed out.
Yeah.
Is it by him backing out? Is he mevatel the kinyan or not? That's stammer. It's a
good question. Maybe when he's gonna later, they're gonna talk more fully about that sugya. Maybe we'll see something there.
Yeah.
Because right. In other words, if it's a kinyan, and so if he backed out, what's the implication of I backed out? What is that? What does that mean?
I don't even remember. Do you remember in the past, in the last Vaher that was included by Dinim Kinyonim, right? That if two people make a kinyan and they have an agreement, right?
Yeah.
They have to be mevatel the kinyan. Otherwise, if they just walk away, both walk away, the kinyan is still there.
Right. Not only that, there's sometimes you have to basically sell it back to him. And if you're
Something like that. I remember that. I remember that just saying, "Hey, we both agree not to go ahead." That's not a bittul kinyan.
no, because you made a kinyan. It's yours now. Yeah, it's your
It's still
thing.
there. You
It's
got to
done.
do
It's
something
your
more
thing.
substantial
Right.
than
So
just walk
I
away.
have to mamish sell it back to you. We have to make a new kinyan, and I mamish sell it back to you under a new kinyan. That's what I'm saying. The thing like once is nachtem with the basa melech in the hashiv. It's what it means. It's yours.
Exactly. So my
You own the
question
item.
was, Kemoy Kane, that we said over there, over here, it's not a case of mecher over here, but do we say that it can?
No, it's not. But where it's confusing is that it's very similar. You see that
Exactly.
the halachas here are bederech klal like metaltalin.
But see, exactly.
So
That's the question I have over here.
Back out. Do you have to like make a new kinyan or does it automatically just adjust the original?
I'm telling you, we should note these questions down because it comes this year. It's a it's something that this should be answered because
it's a nafkamina. Like you said, what if he wants to back in again?
Yeah.
And the balabas is gonna say, what do you mean you're gonna back in again? We're done. You quit. And a kinyan is a good kinyan. I just happen to have a waiver that I could, but now I decided to not use my waiver again.
Exactly. In other words, my question is like this: if by him walking out, is he mevatel the kinyan? This seems unlikely that he can do that. Al pi what we learned by metalton.
Right, because if you're going to say it retroactively makes it a mekach tos.
Yeah.
Okay, but then why does the balabas have to pay him for the days he was there? So it's not a mekach tos.
Exactly. It's
like,
very that's
you can't
exactly. Like in other words, the balabas can tell him, okay, you're schir yoim, but I'm paying. That's only in terms of payment. You get paid daily, but I certainly did not hire you al das that you can just walk away after 5 days. Just because I'm paying you daily doesn't mean to say, in other words, there's an understanding.
Maybe there's the answer. Maybe that holds the answer in it a little bit.
That what? Mechan?
It's mevatel the kinyan. It makes it a mekach tos. Okay, but
that's it.
but you worked for me for 5 days. Let's say it's not really a deal. The deal that we had for this period is gone. But I worked for you for 5 days, and we can assume that even though the kinyan was even though our kinyan is mevatel, but since we discussed $15 an hour, we can assume that this temporary arrangement that we had was das $15 an hour for 5 days.
Oder nicht. Oder we can sagen that when did I say that I'm going to give you $15 per hour? If you go through the whole term.
Right, that's for 5 days. Right.
We can drain on beide Seiten,
Yeah.
But this is certainly it's a bomber kasha. This, I mean,
Yeah.
It's a good thing we spoke about it because you have a way to say that it's mekach tos, b'meila the ganze Sache is mevutel, and you don't have to pay a cent or not, or you say that even if it's a mekach tos, I'll call upon him.
And here we know that he has to pay him for the day.
Yeah.
So that complicates it.
Yeah. So
now, how are you saying it's a mekach tos then? So you can't say it's a mekach tos now.
Right.
Yeah. Or do you say it's a mekach tos, but it automatically creates a new deal? I don't know.
It could be too, But in Allgemein, we have to stage one that we need to understand over here is: do we say that by him walking away, the schir yom walking away, is there bitul kinyan or the kinyan still chal?
I don't think it's mevatel the deal at all.
I don't think so either. Al pi,
what we said. The reason I don't think it's mevatel the deal is yachala akiv kliyum nase. if it destroys the Kenyan and it's a mekach, why how am I able to hold on to his tools? It means the deal is still going till the 5 days. Just you don't have to work the whole 5 days because of this because of this special exclusion you have of lav avodim lavodim.
Yeah, right.
But really, even though you're not going to get you have the right to pull out and not get paid for the last 2 days, you're still technically under contract. And what's the proof? He can still hold on to your tools for 2 more days.
Yeah.
So that's it looks like it's not mevatel anything. The deal is in its full force. But what you can't make a person work for you who's going to be an eved lavodim when so you have to let him not work and fine and not ad kedei kach that he could demand to get paid for what he didn't work because he didn't work, but he's really
Right.
still under contract for the whole thing.
That's okay. Listen, here they don't talk about it. I mean, we could
Well,
look
we'll
at
see.
them.
Maybe when he's going to go more soon in a few sifim, they're going to go more into that sugya. So we'll maybe there it'll clarify it more.
I'm going to look also in the Nesivus and the Ketzois. They usually fagribble in this kind of,
right things that slip.
these side things. It's time consuming because but it's kedai.
Yeah. Okay, so we're holding by Shach Hey.
Okay. Yes. Miu yuchel leakev klium nosei. Gedenkst?
Yeah.
As it can zurückhalten the kliumnus, yeah? Can hold it back.
Yeah. So
Tzorich leayin?
yeah, so I think tzarich la'ayin that Danny.
Yeah, the tzorich leayin.
The Shach really likes the Nemuki Yosef, huh?
Yeah. Oh, he's on him the whole time. The Nimuke Yosef Perek HaZohov Loi Kosov Kach Elo Ledas HaRashba.
Yeah.
He himself doesn't hold like that. That he could hold back
Right.
the kliumnus. That's perfectly within his rights to hold back the kliumnus if the other guy backs out. In the case of Tzchir Yoim, gedenks, yeah. Elo Ledas HaRashba. Only according to the Rashba says he could. Veharan, and the Ran also holds like that. Vechein Mordechai Perika Umnim Ledas Rabbi Yehuda or Rabbi Yitzchok. The cause of the Efsha, the Mashiachas Kli Nigmer.
The Kli Ha'umnin.
Sorry. The Mashiachas Kli Ha'umnim Lo Mehane Le'inyan the Yehei Hakinin Nigmer.
Oh,
What
so
does
it's
that mean?
funny why he brings it on Mihu Yuchel Akiv. It looks like
What the cause of the Efsha, the Mashiachas Kli Ha'umnim Lo
Like,
Mehane Le'inyan.
so it almost looks like he's talking about where the Ramos says V'yesh Eimrim Dim Moshach. It's funny that is Dibra Maskil is over here.
Right.
Because he's not talking about the Miu Yuchel Akiv. He's talking about the Im Moshach Balabais Kli Umnu Shais Ben Melocha and Yochel Achzer Bay. That's what he's talking about.
Right, of course.
So it's funny.
1 second. You're very right. It seems that it's talking about that, right?
Opinion, not about the
אבל אם הוא שכיר יום יכול לחזור בו כשיסבול מיהו יכול לעכב כלי אומן יש אמרים דאם מושך
Right, he's talking about
Balabas kli omnes sheoise
the
meloche
Yeshiva
ena balabas
Mishpat.
yochel lachzor boy velo yapoel imu kablen aval hu schir yoim yochel lachzor boy mi hu yochel akev mnose tchoy veliskoy acherem. Eminot mi yochel akev kli omnose. Yeah. Well, excuse
Oh,
me.
interesting.
Avada is talking what
It's
you say.
it's not a Kenyan, but he can keep the Kliumnis, despite it not being a Kenyan. If he's holding
No, the Zog, the ganze, this whole,
separating
the
the two.
whole Ramah is talking about in Moshach. Look,
Right.
I'll do it like sorry,
He's separating
I'll do it like I
he's
saw it
separating
Haman.
Yonim. He's separating it into this one question. In Mashach, will it be a Kenyan? Yes or no? And a second Inyan in Mashach, can he hold on to it? Regardless of if it's a Kenyan or not.
Yeah, but it says over here at the beginning of the Ramah, which is the beginning of the Dibur Maskell, Mihu Yochalak, it says like this. If you say Benishima Achas, right? Like Emes Yatsiv or sort of Benei Oman, it says, V'yesh Oimrim, Deim Moshach Balabos Kli Umno She'oise Bohem Melocha Eina Balabais Yochel Lachzor Boy Velo Yapoelim Hu Kablon Aval Hu Schir Yoim Hu Schir Yochel Lachzor Boy She'is Boy. In that case that we're talking, Mi Hu Yochel Akev Umno Litzkor Achedim.
And that seems to be how the Smez Mefarish too.
Right, that the whole thing is that is Mevusas on the Meshicha that he did, on the Kenyan
Right,
Meshicha.
you made a Kenyan. Now that you made a Kenyan, can you keep the Kliumnis?
Right, that's Mavus. So he
And
says,
that's by how the Smez seems to
right. And he wants to say, they come the Efshes, the Meshichas clear umnin, lo behandling in the hay, Hakinin Nigmur, if she is so he says like this. He says that Taka, the Shach says, no mir sorgen that he was Meshach. Let's say he did do Mashiach, right? Es can Gor sein that the Kenyan wasn't Nigmer.
not a Kenyan. But
Well,
what?
it's partial, but not complete. It said lo Nigmer.
Okay, but it's not a Kenyan. So that's mean you don't have a Kenyan. But look, now he's going to separate.
Okay, let's read a bit more.
Separate the Sefer. He's going to separate the Sefer.
ושיש לפרש אך בפרק הזוהב, דמהנה משיחס כלי האומנוס, לאינן שיוכל לעכב כלי האומנוס.
Right, even though like Mahani Lakinyan, it's so you did Mashicha, right? And you can be Mefarish there that it's not Mahani for a Kenyan, but even so, it's Mahani La'akif the Yochel La'akif Kli Umnis if it's in your possession now.
Okay, I know that's what he's saying, but in Havana hat es nicht so mehr.
Which is funny because because if you didn't make a Kenyan, why are you able to
exactly? Is it yours? Okay,
Anyway,
you know, experience
see,
has told me we have to be patient over here because he's not going to leave us hanging. Aber der Apostel des wieder on the Mehane Mashiachas Kleum no Sekinin. Aber according to the Mefarshim, I hold that yeah. Mefarshim hach the Hazov bekablon davka bekablon.
Right.
Do you understand what's going on over here? Not by Schir Yoim.
Yeah, by Kablon, yeah.
That the Mashiach with by Kleumnus closes you only in the case of the Kablon. Vehem Yeshemim Shekosav Harav.
Oh, this is, by the way, this is your miskaven to this. This is exactly on your question of the kliumnis by the because if you're saying there was a Kenyan, but if he can back out, you're saying this. So look at this. This is mamish like
Vehem Yeshemim Shekosav Harav. Im ken lidhu yeshlem de beschir yaim. I mean, you know, without which I can go on to fragen Azach. You know, you just need to see in black and white to see to come to ועד יש להם שמיידם בזה מבחוץ לאינך פויסקים מקומו כמינל הו וגם מן הסבורה נידה דכיוון שיוכל לחזור בוי ואין כאן קניין לא מיעקב כלי ומנוסי המונו אין כאן משכן אין כאן Mamish, this is like
You see, he didn't keep you waiting until the next sugya. he addressed your question.
the
Okay.
concept of Mone and Kan, Mashken and Kan,
Right,
in
it's
the
a
din
fucking king.
kinyonim
He's
by
not done this.
metaltalin.
Right, how you? Right, it's not in your possession. These kalim, there was no kinyan. He backed out. Everything's bottle.
So you see, his medame, the avodim to metaltalin. No avodim, poil to metaltalin inyan zeh.
Yeah.
Because he's telling you in the same way by dinin kinyonim by metaltalin, right? That you say mone and kan, masken and kan, mone and kan, right? So
Right.
too we could tie in over here that you don't have
Right, so if
you
you
don't
don't
have over
have,
here the
if he
mask.
can back out, it's nicht gewonnen can kinyan. If it's nicht gewonnen can kinyan, it's nicht doch can mashkin. So you can't hold how you holding on to it.
So we see from here that him one thing you do see from here, and I know it's obvious to you, but by me it wasn't so obvious until I learned this, is that the reason why he's allowed to keep the mashkan in certain situations is betoidas mashkan.
Right. It's a potatoes.
And the kamash malon over here is that we bald, which is not so clear by everybody. I want you to know in a big lumdus on this. I don't want to go into it. If mashkan, you're allowed to use a mashkan or not. But according to, I give you a mashkan, it gives you a reshus to use the mashkan. You're holding the mashkan. You can use the mashkan. Here it says that in this instance, when he gave him the mashkan, it was with the understanding
that it's going to be used to do
it's
this
going to
job.
be used. It's not just, except what? He's going to be the worker.
Here, I'm going to do the work for you, and here's all the materials that we need.
Here's the material, yeah.
Here's the drill.
Mit meinen Masken. Oh, wie bald das? Ich bin meshubet zu dir. I'm
look, I'm bringing my tools already to show you that I'm going to do the job.
You hold
you backed out, and you're not going to do the job.
You hold my tool to show you my commitment. Betodes mashken to show my commitment.
Now you backed out, and I have to find a different worker. But I don't know if he has tools or not. Listen, sorry, but you committed not just yourself to the job. You committed your tools also to the job.
Oh, so all this applies only in the case of a kablan, because by a kablan, masken mona yeshkan mona ein kan, right? But in the case of
Stilioim, even though it seems that everybody is made the taka to this thing, even the paiskim who don't like it, they're made it to it. He says, okay, but that still doesn't explain why. Why are they made it to it? It doesn't make sense. Why should they be made it to it? The logic doesn't work.
Why aren't they made it to what? I didn't understand what he says.
That soft calls soft. They're taka made that he can keep the kli umnus.
They could.
Yeah, they're made there. But he says, but mikol makim minalon haf. Why are they made there? Why? Well, what good reason do they have to be made there?
In the case of what? In the case of the Shiriyim, or in the case of
In the case of the Shiriyim, he says that even the ones that question it, whatever, they're made to it. They're made to that take. He can. He says mikol makim minalon ha. But why? It doesn't make sense. They're right. Why should they be made there?
Right? Lome Yaakov ekri nosi, right? Ha mone ein kan masken ein kan.
So he doesn't understand why those places are made there.
I hope you see black and white over here the fact that you have that we're treating the dinya kinyonim over here
as metaltalin.
I'm
just like metaltalin.
So what we asked before,
and not just that, and we've seen that thread from the beginning.
So I think as to the question which we asked before, how could you be mevatel the Kenyan? by returning back the thing.
Right? It's a real question. It strengthens that question. Of here we see Taka, we're discussing this whole thing like metaltalin. How can you even return do that with it was a mecher.
I think, don't you think that once a guy walks out, the schirion walks out, so b'meila
I mean,
the metaltalin is worthless,
you
and the whole thing goes out of the window.
You have to remember also though that Be'etzem really a schir yoim is not allowed to back out. Meaning he shouldn't. Lefi asvara, he should not be able to back out. It's only because of this crazy thing of Altiya Eved Lavodim that we give him this special
That's
thing.
only a heter. That's only a heter.
Right, but if you put that aside, really a schir yoim should he should be just like a kablan. He should be chayev here.
The truth of the matter is, he's going to use the guy's going to back out. He's going to use that posuk like a heter,
and he could.
He's berechtig 100%. Es meint nicht zu sagen, als a Tzadik Gomor, und afilu a Tzadik Shein und Gomor afilu a Bein, und ich nicht.
Right.
Because he's doing something, he's really using it for his own means.
Right, because the truth is, why did he?
How would you feel if just because you're paying daily, that the guy is, he shows up one day. Today is Martin Luther King.
Right, right. By the way, it's past Martin Luther King.
Yeah. I got.
Civil rights.
Oh yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. So this is it. Maybe we'll make an exception on that day, based. But
the funny thing is, he can't come back tomorrow, because like we see here, it was Ein kan mona, ein kan kinyan. Your buddy, now that you did this, even though Taka you have an out, but you were essentially mevatel the whole thing.
I think that answered my question.
Yeah,
the question which I asked originally.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought we were going to have to wait until the sugya. He's answering it here already. What you asked.
The moment that you walk out, so you're mevatel mona and kan
kinyan and kan
mashken and kan, which the mashken lechaira is really the chaloi sakinyan is based on the mashken, because why does a person make a kinyan al smach of the mashken, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean the deal over here.
It's other of amona, other of mashkin.
Aber hast du nicht das? Bei mir hast du nicht Jens.
You know? The gamin as far near she kiven she yochel lachser by the ein kan kinyan. Lami yakim flum nasi. Right? So he's saying klod ein kan kinyan. Like you said.
Right. So Bemela, a Kenishurikuman, they can come back and say that I want to work again.
Oh, ain't can Kenyan.
You yourself, you did it. You
released the balabas obligations.
So the kasha is why why should he be allowed to keep the thing? That's the question we're left with.
Yeah.
Why should he be allowed to keep the keli if the whole kinyan went out of the window? Right. And there's no and money and can money and can
makes it even more surprising, and it makes it even more surprising that it seems that all the paiskim are essentially made to this. That he could keep it. That makes it even more surprising.
What's the basis for it?
Yeah. Right, how it goes negative as far.
Yeah.
Yeah, Afal Gav.
Ja, aber das ist also Harava Magil Perik Tes Beskiris. Beshem Ramban, der Rashba, Tikshebo, Chavilo Soli Yodi, Afilu Bedover Shein Obad. This is the case I'm not I'm not what do you call it, acquainted with. You want to look at? Shall we look at the Rambam, or unless you know the case?
Ein Vav base.
Perik Tes of Schidus.
Yeah, let's
Let me
see.
see.
Talking about here.
Perik Mishpat. Perik Tes of Schidus. Halacha Dalet. I just look at the Rambam. I have it here. You have it?
No, I'm actually looking up in the Gemara on this. What do you have?
Shall we read the Rambam Magid or? Im Biker Barabais. Belafte bei dem Motze Schätzlichen bei dem.
Commentaries. The mass for the heavies in the Ramban. Where's the Ramban here? You see it in the Mag Mishnah?
The chiluk he makes between the kablan and the schiriyim, I do see. Polish Chazaboy, actually, a kablan or some. Let me see.
It was what's the mass of a heavy. You have the Ramban.
I'm trying to find this out.
The Ramban says, "Umiu im nosnu lebalabayis kli noson." Here, let me do this. Share it over here. Over here, Umihu. Here's the Ramban over here on this.
Where? Oh. I couldn't find the Magil Mishnah. Could you?
Let me see if I can find the Mishnah on that.
I don't know the whole thing of the chavilos. I'm not clear.
Where is it? Chilus Perek Tes. No, that's the Mishnah Torah. That's not there. Mishnah would be Ramaslu by the Mag Mishnah. Let's see. Oh, here. It's talking about here. It's talking about it's about Mitzvah 7 Ayin Ches. Okay, here's the Gemara. This is where it all comes down to. Bav Metzia Ayin Ches Amud Aleph. So Pshita boil is abein b'meya v'lo ashkach. No, that's for finding his property. 1 second. That has to do with property. Here, sochar esachamor v'sakador. If he hires a donkey a driver or a pottery maker, seichar alein a maton, right? Meaning, so he can hire others at their expense, right? Or he can trick them that they should finish their work. Ad kama seichar alein, how much can he? Until what point could he take their wages? Could he hire at their expense? Ad kidei scharan, up until whatever the agreed upon amount was. Which is interesting because this answers the question we had before. The question we had before is, what if it costs, the amount of the cost is more than the total of everything? Does it go past zero or it's capped? So here from the Gemara, it looks like it's capped. It's only up until the amount of the whole work, but not past that. Eisevei Rava l'Rav Nachman. So Rava challenge of Nachman. Adar boim v'chamishim zuz. That it says up to 40 or 50 zuz. Amalei kitanya hi shebos chavila liyadei. That Braisa is talking about where a bundle has come to his hands. Meaning the bundle meaning the tools. That's what the chavila is. And then he has more ability. He can go even higher than the actual cost. So okay, so that's what it's talking about here. It's talking about over there. You see the Rashi over here. Yeah, so the case of the case of the cases like the Chavil is like this.
Is it Gemara or what?
Yeah, comes from Gemara. It's 2 pages later than the rest of this stuff. It's funny because he just answered a question that we had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Our question was when we said that by a kablan yodi al right? That basically he can finish the job at the expense of the kablan, right? Like meaning if I hire you for 400 to complete the job, and you did half of it, but it's going to cost me so the I should pay you 200 of the 4,
Yeah.
but it cost me 300 to do it.
You mean to find somebody else?
Yeah, I only have to pay you 100 because I take it out of your schar. What I need to do to complete the job, right?
Right.
The
You
question
mean in a case where the Kaplan backs out?
yeah. So the question that we had is it capped at the 400? Or what if it costs me 500? Can I take money from you?
Right.
So the answer in the Gemara is no, you can only go up until the 400. Unless the unless I have you left your tools by me. I can now go sell your tools.
Wow.
And I can go past the cap if you left your tools by me.
Wow.
So that's the case there. So that's by the Rashba. The Kishbach Havilos Liyodi Afilu Shadav Sheini Avad Seicher Alein Imitan Ad Kidei Chavila. So he can basically he can fix his situation not just up to the amount that he owed the other guy, but also he can add to that. He can sell the guy's tools for what he needs to complete the job. Saves him base. Yeshleimer the mighty dafke bekablon. So he's going to say, wait a second. We're saying here that it should be pashut that a schiriyim, if he backed out of the deal is canceled. So how can you use his tools? And you don't try to answer me from the Magid Mishnah there and from the Gemara there that we see that he's allowed to sell the tools even, meaning not just for holding it for a mashkin, He can sell it to negate his losses. Yesh leimar, that's by a kablan, that a kablan can't go back and it's a complete deal. So that still doesn't prove anything by Schir Yom. Inami Harash B'letameh Ozil K'mash Kosov Animuki Yesif Perek Azov V'Shmei V'chein Yishlei Meshu Das Haramban Masha Enkim L'Shor Peskim, right? So we can say before we had the Das Rashban, the Dashran, and what's it called, right? So you could say, oh, maybe it goes according to their svara, but you still can't explain me how the other Peskim are agreeing to this. Being that they hold that the whole idea of the kinyan and the whole idea of keeping the tools are one inyan. So if you want to tell me, fine. So you want to tell me the Gemara. Let's say the Gemara is holding like the Rashba over there.
Yeah.
That the keeping of the tools has nothing to do with if the kinyan was good or not. But according to the Reiv Paiskim, who hold that it does have to do with it. How are you explaining me this? How can he keep his tools? It doesn't make sense still.
Must be that he's talking about a kablan.
Well, so that's
Because if it's a kablan,
so that's one thing he said.
but
Or
he
said,
if it's a kablan, he's not allowed to do that. He can't be.
His other thing is it's going only to the is that the other place came we have to say then don't agree with that. Only the Rashba and the Ramban go by this. V'chein mashma l'chur b'Rabbeinu Yerucham. שבתחילה כוסף סתם כדברי הראש, ואחר כך הכוסף ויש מהגדולים שכוסבו שאף על פי שהפועל יוכל להחזר אם מושך ליומנוסי קונה איסי וכולו, משמע לחור לדברי הראש וסייעתי שהביא מתחילה לייסה להיידינה. That Rabbeinu Yerucham is only talking about those who hold like that. That it's a separate inyan and not the same inyan. ואף על פי שאינני כדאי להחליק על דברי הרב, even though I am not fitting to argue on the words of the Rav, Mikol Makim Nilaf Elfian Yizdaiti, Shei Shamayim Yachmir Badavar, V'Yachser Lapayel Shalei. So he holds the halacha.
I have to find this out over here in the Ketzad Soicher Aleihem. 1 second. This is what you have on the screen. That's the Rambam or
that's the Magid Mishnah.
The Magid Mishnah. 1 second.
But here, if you want to see the Gemara, the Ramban is here. Here's the Ramban.
1 second. The Ramban is where? In Gemara Bava Metzia?
Yeah, I have it up right now.
Hold on a second, because I can't see so well. I have a Ramban over here. I could look it up.
Make it bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Oh, look, I can make it bigger.
Okay, what daf is it?
Yeah, I can make it bigger. Is this better? You can see now?
Yeah, but what daf is it's in Ayin
That's Amud Aleph.
Ayin Ches?
Ches. No, why is it meant? No, it's a mistake. This is a mistake here. It's Ayin Ches Amud Aleph. It's not Mem Ches Amud Aleph.
Ayin Ches, right? 1 second. Ayin Ches.
Safariya, when they copied and pasted it, they got it wrong.
Ayin Ches. Amud Aleph, right?
Yeah.
1 second. So, 1 second. Ayin Ches. And what's the Dibra Masfil? Hodamrinen? No.
It says here the heavy.
Huh?
What Ayin Vav base? There's nothing on Ayin Vav base. Did not see it on. Oh yeah, Ayin Vav. It's Ayin Vav base.
Huh?
Ayin Vav base.
1 second. Ein Vav.
Last Ramban on Ayin Vav base.
Ein Vav. Ein Vav. Umar base. Ein Vav. Ein Vav. 1 second. Behodik Tony. Behodik Tony?
Let me see.
Because I have Behodik Tony, and the next one is Ein Zan. Vosa Mitra, say that the Pelim is right in Ein Zain.
Yeah, Vahodik Tony.
Okay. Hold on.
But he doesn't get into it right immediately.
So, you want to do it inside or what?
Yeah, we might as well do the Ramban inside. But he's not starting to talk about this yet, I don't think.
See, והבה יודע שהפועלים שחוזרו בהם בדוברו, ודובר בשביל לא הזכירו במלאכו, that one?
Yeah, I think it starts Verashi Kosa Bereisha. You see this part?
One second. ודים לא נוכל לשלוח בעל הבית, בדוכו מוצש, לא יודע. אפשר,
The heavy idea. You see it? The heavy idea. The heavy idea shapelim chazru.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said originally.
Yeah.
והבה יודע שהפועלים שחוזרו בהם בדובר העובד, אף על פי שלא הזכירו במלאכו, סויך עליהם ומתן you know what's exactly the case over here? There's
meaning that the Peyalim, they went back on their word.
Bedover Avud.
Right, where he's losing, he's gonna lose money on it.
If they back out, he's losing money.
That's the same, yeah.
The Balabos loses money, right?
Yeah. So Afal Pisha even they didn't start with the work yet. Why? Because because it's Akinyan. Seicher Aleyan Aimitan. So he could use their what's it called? He could hire out on them to get other workers.
Have you there to buy them Shechozu Bahem? בדובר העבוד, אף על שלא ישחילו במלאכו, סויכל עליהם ומתן והיינו מסניסים. ואף על שכל זמן שלא יבוס חבילה ליודוי, אין כאן אלא דבורים, because חבילה means what? Like the mashkin or what?
Kavila is it? Rashi says Rashi says Kavila means clay umnus.
The keli?
Yeah, the clay umnus. They're tools.
Which is effectively the mashkin, right?
Yeah.
That's why he says,
Wait, so in that case, like we don't have to pay up to the 400, right? Only up to what or they're only going to lose out according to what the agreement was. So he's not going to pay them basically, and not more.
So the time make of ain't can derech Kenyan. There was no Kenyan over here, right?
Yeah.
So why could he charge them up to 400? Why? If there's no Kenyan?
No, it's not so much that he can charge them. It's that they didn't start working, so they lose out the 400, but he can't go and he can't go and exact more money from them.
What do you mean they lose 400? They didn't stop
Because
working.
they didn't do the work, so they don't get the 400. That's what it means.
They don't get paid.
Yeah,
Finish.
but that's it. That's where it's capped at. It's capped at don't pay them.
But if they did the Kenyan, right?
Right. So right. Omiuim leisachar alin elehivsid bam tanasan in mishalmin shahari leikiblo aleim lishalim. Why? Because at that point they just don't get paid. But he didn't accept on himself to pay. They didn't accept on themselves to pay.
Oh, the next part is ve'im bos chavilo liyodoi. But if he did make a Kenyan with the kelim, soichel midmeya chavilo afilu ad 45 im zuz. Wow. Mium schon b'mona eno mishtal. Okay, that's the mihu is something else.
1 second. Right. Yeah.
Okay. This is with Ramban.
Here, wait, look at the next mihu.
Oh yeah.
Miuim nasal balabais kim nasan va'afal pishalei ischilu b'malacha seicher aleim b'dmei ischira shel eis hasham b'dmei chavila shemisha shenosnu lebalabais klium nasan kanu zeh mizeh v'shoveinu yichelon lachzer bahen.
Umiu im schoron b'mona. What he sold them for $100 each person.
Where is this?
Miu im schoren b'mona, eino mishtal mimenu shein zo schiris. Why?
Because he doesn't have the kliumnus. As long as he doesn't have the kliumnus, he has no. That's it. Then you're holding that the whole deal was al das that their only loss could be up to not getting paid the 400. Right, but umiuim nasan lebalabayis klium nasan. Now it's different because afal pishlei ischil b'malacha seicher alim b'mei schirus shel oisa sham midmei chavila. Why? Because that misha shenosnu lebalabayis klium nasan kanu zeh mizeh v'shuv ein yichilon lachzer bahen. Hilkach afilu hezilu gavia. Right? Even the price for workers went up. Like shehukra milacha, or the cost of work went up. The cost of materials, the cost of workers, whatever. Teicher alein b'shavin shel pelim shemishicha keina lehem kameshika saman perikazov. So that's the case over there. So now you're going to ask, hang on a second, in our case here, how does that make sense? So he answered, either we can say we're talking only about a kablon, and taka schir not, or we can say that that Ramban goes l'shitosei, that his shita is that the kinyan and the ability to sell the things are separate. Lav dafka, they totally one on the other.
Right, which is hard. That's a shver.
Yeah, but at the same time, he has no. He's saying it's a shver, what he called, and he's.
Can I to look it over again, mit Hashem?
That's all. This is. But that's the best that he's able to come up with to explain. Is we have to say that either it's just that Rambam L'Shitase holds like this, and Taka the other place wouldn't agree. Taka.
Yeah.
Or we could split it by Taka, or we could say the other way. No, Taka, you're right. That's by the Ramban also would hold that by a Kablan Yam, by a Schiriyim, no.
Now in Hilchas Schiras, the Magid Mishnah that you brought down, which is the Dibra Maskil, do you know or not?
Magid Mishnah, it's the Im Hoyalahem, it's a couple of them.
The first one.
The Im Hoyalahem and Seicher Aleim Lahashlam Hamalacha. They're right next to each other.
Ilchus Chilus Perek Tes.
Yeah. Hilchos Chidis Tes, yeah. Hilchos Chidis Tes Dalid.
Toward the end or what?
Yeah, towards the end. It's right at the last few.
V'him hoya lahem.
Yeah.
And
Like-
what's the other one?
Seicher Aleim Lahashlam Hamalocha.
Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, one after the other. Very good.
Yeah, see, this is actually this is a simon with a very classic build.
Fine.
Meaning a lot of the complications
Yeah.
come right in the first sifra. We have to establish the rules here.
I mean,
Because right now we're establishing the basics. Although I see I see this man Shach ganz good what do you call it? They have some arichos to them later also in the simon.